Hey everybody, I've been wanting to do a video for maybe a week or a little bit longer now. Kind of wanted to document my issues I've had and maybe give you guys an idea of what DNA tests to buy for your dog. Pretty much the two major players would be Wisdom Panel and Embark. And this came about because I have a puppy that appears to be something special, very rare dog, but I don't want to really let that cat out of the bag quite yet. I want to send off more DNA and verify before I really officially say what I've been told. But anyways, it gave me the opportunity to buy two more DNA tests just to figure out, mainly Embark versus Wisdom Panel, what you could expect when you buy those two kits and the kind of service you might get. The traditional Cane Corso registry is a new registry for the Cane Corso. They were pushing Embark pretty big, wanting their breeders with the registrations to use Embark, and I haven't ever dealt with traditional kind of Corso registry before, but because of them I was thinking I would give Embark a try. So we had a litter of puppies born on December 10th 2019. We like to do DNA. We do several different tests on our dogs health wise, and DNA recently has been something that has been added to what breeders can do. Kind of gives us an idea, if we do the puppies early enough, we can get results back and let new puppy buyers know, hey, we tested this pup from the litter and they said this was a possibility of an issue. I feel like it's something beneficial to us as breeders and beneficial for new puppy buyers to know that your dog could be predisposed to some kind of issue. It also gives us DNA results, which kind of tell us that we're on the right path. A lot of Cane Corso breeders will tell you they don't believe in DNA testing. I can't, it hasn't been around long enough for me to say it's definitely accurate, but it's definitely a tool we can all use. So why not use everything we can? But really what's going on here with this video is, I'll show you guys my email here. If you look here, this was January 13th. I won't show the email too much because there's puppy applications and stuff in there, but basically back in January 13th, I bought DNA kit for puppies that were born on December 10th from Embark. And I got that kit. I got 3 emails in a row from them. You see them right here, which was cool. Order confirmed, it has shipped. Again, another email saying it has shipped. Great communication there from the beginning. I think it took probably 3 or 4 days to get to me, and I immediately did the DNA swab and sent it off and waited. Took quite a while. They have a portal that you can log into, and I'll try to see if I can pull that up while I'm talking here, but they pretty much anyways pulled up the Embark website here. Going back, I'm sorry I got interrupted here, but the January 13th was when I ordered that kit, got it a few days later, sent back the swab immediately, and waited, and maybe I don't know, a few weeks went by, maybe a month. It'd been quite a while before I had heard anything, and finally got an email saying basically that I had to resubmit because they weren't able to process the DNA. So I thought maybe I didn't do it right. I did notice a difference that day about the day I did the swab. I noticed a difference between the Embark and the Wisdom Panel swab kit. I was more impressed, honestly, with the Wisdom Panel, but I can get into that later. So what happened was I sent off another DNA kit. I had to wait a few more days. Remember, we're waiting on time here to get these results out before people start picking up their puppies. I was basing my timeline off of what I knew from Wisdom Panel, and that was getting results back fairly quickly. So that didn't happen. I got the second kit, sent the second kit off, and this will kind of pick up where I was. This is Embark's page here. Sign in. I sent the results off for a puppy named Elmer. You can see how small he was when I did it. That was his picture uploaded. And it says here results by late March. So I think this was early February when I sent that off. So I waited and waited and waited and waited. I'm like, damn, I mean, I would have got this stuff back by now. Never heard anything. On March 30th, I sent an email and I asked, am I gonna get results today or tomorrow? And I got a refund. No explanation, just got a refund. And so I was kind of pissed. Went on Embark's Facebook page and didn't make a review or anything, but somebody else reviewed an issue, and I commented about my experience and being less than impressed. And then the next day I got an email explaining why I didn't get results. And again, I want to wait and go into that later. So what I did do was ordered 2 more kits. Scroll up here. Get out of March, all the way up to April. So right after that, April 31st, Embark told me that I wasn't going to get results. So I ordered 2 more kits that day. And this is where the comparison begins. For whatever reason, this time I didn't get an email from Embark, but I did get 2 from Wisdom Panel. And I'll get into why I didn't get results after these come back. So anyways, I got 2 kits. I sent one to my work and one to my house. The blue sticky notes here are covering up my address, but these are what come in the mail from each place. This is Wisdom Panels here. It gives you directions there on the back of how to do it. They're both basically the same. You get this thing in the mail, activate it online, send it back, wait. These are the exact packages you get. And they got to me on the same day, even though I didn't get any kind of notice from Embark that anything was coming this time. I don't know if they're mad at me or what, but I did get 2 kits at the exact same time, one at my house, one at my work. These are what came in the mail, and I will do an opening in just a second. All right, so if you're very observant, you may notice it's a whole nother day here. I got interrupted last time. Hopefully I don't recover a bunch of stuff I've already said, but this will be cool because you can fast forward to this part of the video. Anyways, the left one here is the Embark test. This is the Wisdom Panel test. Blue is just where I've covered up my address. To get these open, appears to me that you have to just tear this off. This one I'm going to slice with a razor blade, and I will be right back once I do that. I tore this open with my thumb. This I cut the cellophane off with a razor blade. Both have a number on the outside. You're gonna use that when you register your kit. The Embark test is in a box in a box. Wisdom panel is just the box. They open similarly. Wish I had one of those nice camera stands. We've got just the two covers here. Basically, that is the way you do both of them. You collect your DNA, go online, register that number I showed you earlier, mail it in. Both of these are prepaid, so you just drop it in the mail. My experience, you get an email not too long thereafter, let you know your stuff is processing. So let's try to be smart here. Put the Embark on the left there and Wisdom panel on the right. Notice that this whole box gets mailed back. I also want to talk about these addresses later. Lincoln, Nebraska there. This is inside the Embark kit here. It's cool that they give you, first thing, go activate. Here's your swab. Talk about that in a second. There's some directions here, how to do it. Down here at the bottom, there is a little package to send off. Just this, that your swab is going to go into. And this is going to Boston, Lincoln, Nebraska, Lincoln Street. Coincidence? I don't think so. Boston or Nebraska. So that's basically all that you get in the Embark kit. Inside of the Wisdom panel, pretty much just, same idea. You're gonna swab your dog. You take these sticks and you stick them inside of your dog's cheek and scrub it around or roll it back and forth. It gives you directions up here. Peel it back, try not to touch it, stick it in the cheek. Insert swab, log on, activate, write your code. On here, your activation number. Stick the swabs back in this, stick it back in this, and mail it back. Here's my issue with Embark. If you look at their swab here, this is just like a sponge. And maybe it soaks up saliva better. I don't know, but I feel like when you do DNA, I've done DNA for AKC, for Wisdom panel, I've done it for a longevity study in Europe of Corso, and everybody else has kind of a abrasive swab, or these brushes, I feel like they scrape off cell material, and that's what gets tested. The sponge, I don't know. I mean, it's a very smooth sponge. And I feel like this might be part of the issue that I'm currently having with Embark. But maybe not. Maybe it's just my dog. We'll get into that later. So basically the same thing. Like I said, you just stick those in your dog's cheek and seal it back up, throw this in the mailbox and drop it off at the post office, whatever. What I was talking about earlier with these addresses though, I went ahead and pulled up the addresses. Okay, so we're looking at the two addresses here, these places. This was the Wisdom Panel, 9431 All Points Parkway, Plainfield, Indiana. The Embark one goes to 186 Lincoln Street, Boston, Mass. So if we look at All Points Parkway for Wisdom Panel, street view, we get this place that looks like a warehouse or research facility or, you know, something. I can see, you know, DNA stuff going on in here. A lot of cars, it's just a big place. A lot of things could happen in there. If you look at Lincoln Street, where the Embark test goes, you know, this is big for rent sign on the front. It is a tall building. Embark says it's on the 6th floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's maybe up there towards the top. But the building looks like maybe office space. I don't know. It could be a very deep building, maybe. Got some other pictures there. I don't know why I'm on Atlantic Avenue all of a sudden now. So I'm not saying they don't do any stuff in there, but I feel like either this is a processing center or, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't look like a laboratory. Could be wrong, but what I'm saying is I get results back from Wisdom Panel within a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month in my experience. I don't know if anything's changed. We'll find out later in this video. But the months went by for the Embark test for me. I can get into that again later, why. They had an explanation. So once I get these results back, I'll talk about that. But what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and test my dogs. I'm going to test the same dog that Embark failed with, but I'm gonna use Wisdom Panel this time, and I'm going to test a different dog from the same litter with Embark and see what they say this time. And I will make a video of that when I get the results back. Before I forget, Cane Corso people, a big deal right now is whether these DNA tests are accurate and if we should be seeing other breeds within the Cane Corso. I want to point out something here, because for whatever reason, a lot of people in the Corso world have gotten behind Embark. If you look right here on the front of the box, it says they test for 250 breeds. On the Wisdom Panel, it says they test for 350 breeds. What we see in the DNA results for a lot of Corsos is other breeds. And if you have the opportunity to see more other breeds, I feel like that gives you a better window as to what you're working with. A lot of people will say, oh, of course, that's why it shows this or that, and make excuses for it. But when we see that actual other breed that is a well-established breed in either DNA test, it reasons that there's definitely that breed within your dog. And that's just the state of it. A lot of people in the Corso world are seeing Rottweiler and Neapolitan Mastiff and stuff like that, Bull Mastiff, English Mastiff. A lot of things people have added for size are because they didn't have real Corsos. And if you got 350 possibilities as opposed to 250, one of the reasons I feel like Wisdom Panel is better for us. All right, so we're long overdue for the finale to this. It's June 25th now. It took quite a while, but not quite this long. Basically, the final results here were kind of lackluster. May 19th, almost a month and a week ago, after a couple conversations with Wisdom Panel, I did get this. I got a voicemail basically. Because I missed the call, I just wanted to share it with you. This is the screenshot of the visual voicemail. Hey, good afternoon. This is whatever his name was. I'm just reaching back out to you in regarding the test that you had, test for Elmer. I just wanted to let you know that we did hear back from, basically said Dr. Knox lab, and they were able to confirm that the reason for failure of that test was blank. Elmer is a Chimera. Translated to chimera there, but he's Chimera. And also that if another test would be submitted, we would get the same thing basically. Here we are, submitted. Let's feel it. So what they did is they processed a refund on our, since I purchased it on the website, blah, blah, blah. It just goes into how they would return the money. Not a big deal, but this was really all the final word I got from Wisdom Panel, that he was Chimera. I didn't get a whole lot better. At least I got an official email from Embark, but Wisdom Panel just called me back and left me a voicemail, which, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they don't deal with this very often, so it's not that big a deal. Not exactly what all I was hoping for, but I want to show you these things. Something I just learned today is that somebody in the Cane Corso world is spreading the rumor that you have to send a detailed picture of your dog to get your DNA results. Like they're using the picture to determine what kind of breed your dog is. 100% not true. I did on purpose not send a picture for Elmer because his face is half one color and half the other. I didn't want there to be any kind of, hint for them. I wanted accurate results. Also, you can say that you're a breeder. You can say what breed you think your dog is when you send that in, or you can leave it blank and not answer. I didn't answer. A lot of times I've done this, and I don't tell them I'm a breeder because I don't want them catering to me to try and maybe sway my results. I want them to tell me what I've got. So this is just kind of an example here. Estoque down there on the bottom is Elmer's brother. You can see that results for Elmer say they're going to be available early March. Never happened. I did upload a picture of him afterwards because of this video. And you can see he was still a tiny baby then. And here's where you could add some more pictures of him if you wanted to. Everything says coming soon. Still, this is just generic stuff. Basically what I'm showing you is there's no available info for Elmer on Embark. We switch over to Wisdom Panel, same thing. We got 3 of my dogs right here. No picture of them. I actually have uploaded a picture of Duchess to them before, but I believe since they're switching over, they've got two, Wisdom Panel's got an old legacy website and they're switching everything over to a new website. I don't know why, but for some reason her picture is now gone. But you can see here's Elmer again, no picture. And this is all about Elmer. This is kind of an error here. Table has no columns, basically. There's no data on him. And the reason that I've been explained they can't get any data or profile Elmer is because with him being two separate sets of DNA contained in one body, they've got nothing to compare that to. So pretty interesting. Definitely gonna enjoy raising him and seeing, you know, what this is like, because this is uncharted territory for the Cane Corso world. 1 in 10,000 they say dogs this happens to, so I don't know, you know, if there's another Cane Corso out there. I'd love to hear from you that you heard the same thing. I've never seen another Cane Corso that looks like Elmer, so stay tuned for more videos of Elmer, and anything I can see different about him besides his face, I'll be sure to let everybody know. Thank you. All right, so it took so long to get all the results from both places, Wisdom Panel and Embark, and then me get the time to finish the video. I realized that I never really showed you guys Elmer. So this is Elmer, currently 6 months old. And look at his muzzle. Good boy. Good boy, Elm. He's almost split down the middle of two colors. And he has this carbon about him. So this is the 1 in 10,000 Cane Corso here. Verified by both Wisdom Panel and Embark to be Chimera. So he's 2 dogs in 1 dog. And also, I wanted to take the opportunity, even though I want to do another video on it, but I have some wheat here. This is wheat that was in the field after all the other wheat was picked up, so it was laying out there longer. The definition of Frumentino is just wheat, like wheat color. Really doesn't have anything to do with the mask of the dog like people think, because you're talking about the color of this. Also, I've heard that they call it a burned wheat or burnt wheat when the dog is that color or the cow is that color. One time I saw Vito Indiviri say that he liked the fawn, or the only fawn dogs that he liked had this carbon on them, and he called the dog Frumentino. So it's very hard to get between the translation and misunderstandings. It's very hard to get clear answers. For me, if you look at wheat when it stays out in the field for a really long time, it gets darker. For a long time, I thought they meant lighter, like sun-baked. But burnt wheat gets darker, and dark has that carbon about it. So he has multicolors of fawn on him, and it's, you know, special because he happens to be Chimera, so he's not normal. how that's affected his coat, I don't know. But some of his coat, at least, is Frumentino to me, and has nothing to do with his muzzle. But anyways, I hope to do a better video on that subject later. I just wanted you guys to see the dog in question here. This is Elmer. He's 6 months old now. It's the daughter of Anima and prestigious guardians Roman. And thanks for watching.